and 9 blocks. In just a moment, Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets will try to make it 2 straight wins over the LA Clippers. That's game 2 of our Saturday night doubleheader, and it's next.
Where the Houston Rockets take on the Los Angeles Clippers in game 2 of this Western Conference playoff series. The Houston Rockets, one of the most surprising teams in the NBA this year. Last year, a lottery team. This year, Midwest Division champions. Rudy Tomjanovich, their new coach, has done a great job. Hakeem Olajuwon on pace for a MVP season. What's been the key to Houston?
Well, you have to give Rudy T all the credit. A rough approach. He's given them strong mental maturity, and also they are now one of the premier defensive teams in this league. Hakeem Olajuwon, no player in this league is in the top 4 categories 3 times. We're talking scoring, rebounding, and shot blocking. So he is playing a banner season, carrying this basketball team.
Now, a 23-point win for Houston in game number 1. We talked to Larry Brown. What adjustments is he making?
Well, he's very happy. He's upbeat. He's down only 1-0. He had 95 shots. They got an awful lot of open shots, just didn't make them from the perimeter. His inside team played weak, but they did get 18 offensive rebounds. So from a positive standpoint, Ron Harper is back tonight. He averages 18 a game. He was injured in game 1, possible knee injury, but he can go and give him 100%. Larry Brown, very upbeat. You're only down 1-0. He's made his little adjustments. All you got to do is steal game 2.
And as you saw the New Jersey Nets, that's entirely possible. Speaking of Hakeem Olajuwon, we talked about how well he's played. He also won a big major award. They presented it moments ago. Here's PA announcer Mark Seegers. In Houston, Texas, tonight's Jeep Eagle starting matchups.
Right there, Thorpe on Manning, very key for the Rockets, and then Ken Olajuwon dominate Roberts for the 2nd game in a row.
Clippers with the tip, and Ron Harper, who injured that surgical right knee in game number 1, is back, is playing, missed his opening shot. Roberts goes down, Rockets on the run, Kenny Smith. Penetration off the glass, rebound. Harper then knocked loose by Olajuwon. It'll be Clippers ball.
Both coaches very concerned about transition defense. If either team has an Achilles heel, that's where it's at. Houston runs hard with 5 guys on the break.
Mark Jackson at the point.
I like this. Post up. You have a height advantage. Go right at him.
Harper misses. The follow was also missed by Ken Norman. Still a scoreless ball game. Olajuwon with his first rebound of the night. Winston Garland filling in for the injured Vernon Maxwell.
In game 1, Houston shoots 62%. Reason, their perimeter people were on fire.
Olajuwon into the lane. The rookie, Robert Horry, picks it up. He's playing on a sore right knee also. Here comes Danny Manning.
4-on-1.
To Harper. And the lay-in. Did you see Danny Manning? Remember, he is 6'11" when you see him handle the ball in the open court.
This is a team, it's a Jekyll and Hyde team, the LA Clippers. 41-41. Some nights they play, you would swear they're one of the best teams in the league. Other nights, very disappointing like in game 1. But give Houston a lot of credit. 14 shot blocks, 62% shooting.
Olajuwon goes down hard. Hakeem and Stanley Roberts have had a couple of really good matchups this year. Roberts, believe it or not, won a couple of them against Hakeem, but the last couple of times it's been Olajuwon.
Well, now we know that Hakeem is the premier shot blocker in this league. He's won the award 3 of the last 4 seasons. But Stanley Roberts is only 23 years of age. He's made tremendous strides, and he is ranked as one of the better shot blockers in the league.
Olajuwon drops the free throw. It's 2-1, and a minute and a half has been played here, and that's all that's been scored, despite the fact that these teams have been up and down the court 5 times. You see, in game 1, he had a near triple-double. You should add to those statistics 9 blocked shots from Hakeem.
And then the perimeter people come in with 6 threes, and it was all Houston.
Danny Manning being defended by Otis Thorpe. Manning's running the jump hook, doesn't go. Here's Garland, lob ahead. Thorpe kicks it back out. Can Kenny Smith save it? Yes.
Oh, great save.
Olajuwon, there's spins so quickly past Danny Manning. My, oh my. 4 points for Hakeem.
How about how he regrouped and then elevated on that shot? Terrific move by Hakeem.
Down to Harper, posting up the shorter Winston Garland.
See, he's got to take advantage of this mismatch because he can shoot over the top of Garland at will.
Garland with the steal, but he stepped out of bounds. Garland came in and played very well for the injured Vernon Maxwell. And here's a look at this again.
Yeah, this is just a great spin move. But watch how he gathers himself and then the ability to elevate and fade on that shot.
I watched him play one-on-one with Sleepy Floyd in a sweat-bearing game about 15 minutes before this game started.
Well,
they did
change ownerships, didn't they? The last couple of days.
That's true.
Charlie Thomas would have had a heart attack if he was here watching that.
Exactly. Charlie Thomas sold the team to a fellow from Florida by the name of Les Alexander. Kenny Smith on the run. And the lay-in.
This is what they do so well, Bob. They run a track meet. You must be concerned because it's not just one guy, because all 5 guys on this Houston team get out on a break. They cannot hurt you in their half-court offense. They score out of their defense.
Houston has scored 6 straight points. They need 6-2. Stanley Roberts on the baseline. It's now 6-4, 9:09 to go in the first quarter. Houston, the surprise team in the NBA by my call this year. This was a team that was in the lottery last year. They won 55 games as Jackson goes for the steal. Kenny Smith gets it over. And the Midwest Division title and our 2nd seed in the Western Conference. They had one 15-game winning streak.
They're very big on the high pick and roll using Otis Thorpe.
The loose ball foul is going to be on Otis Thorpe.
The funny thing about this Houston team, Otis Thorpe definitely fouled them over the back. They are at the bottom of the league in offensive rebounding. Now, that's hard to believe when you figure they average only 12 a game, and you have Thorpe and Olajuwon on your team. Now, right there, Rudy T, that was just outstanding. That was the 3rd division championship in the history of this organization.
Mark Jackson with the hesitation dribble gets to the glass, and he draws the foul.
You must establish an inside game in this series because you cannot allow number 34 to run around and get 9 blocks and intimidate everybody else. Now, you see right here, Mark does a real fine job, and because Olajuwon will always leave his man to help out. Stanley Roberts must step to the front of the rim and create the passing lane and then punish him with a dunk.
Mark Jackson, who came from the New York Knicks in the trade for Doc Rivers. See that he had an excellent game 1.
Well, you know, I'm very happy for Mark. He's really had a terrific year this year. He's played over 40 minutes, 20-some-odd times this year. People forget the guy was Rookie of the Year, and then in his 2nd year, he played in the All-Star game and made a major contribution for his team.
14.5 points a game, 8.8 assists for Mark Jackson in the regular season. Kenny Smith.
So two old New York City playground guys going head-to-head.
Looking for Olajuwon. Manning trying to defend him.
Oh, yeah, you got
count the basket and the foul. What incredible quickness from Hakeem Olajuwon. Give the personal to Danny Manning.
Now you're going to see, now Thorpe makes a great move. You're going to see nice pass down inside. Thorpe comes down inside strong. Very bad move that time by Stanley Roberts.
Otis Thorpe. Between he and Olajuwon, they've got some real quickness down to the baseline. Thorpe's shooting percentage among the highest in the league.
I like what I'm seeing tonight with the Clippers. They're taking their time. They're running set plays. Look at this.
There's block number 1 for Olajuwon.
You cannot automatically shoot. You have got to look to see if he is in the area.
Back down to Hakeem. Triple team on him. 10 to shoot.
Plenty of time here.
9-6 Rockets. 7:40 to go, first quarter. That was blocked by Harper. Kenny Norman out of Illinois to Harper. Flat shot. He was off balance when he took that. It'll belong to the Clippers.
See, Larry Brown made a good point today. In game 1, too many open jump shots for us, and we rushed the shots. Now, right there, Hakeem, you could see, left his man, came over, and Danny Manning was definitely not looking for the free man.
Clippers only 2 for 8 so far in this game. Look at that defense.
There you go. Oh, big fella. Nothing soft tonight. You must send those babies down.
Like Kenny Smith did off the miss from Stanley Roberts. Roberts had it, tried to finesse it in. The tight rim forced it out. It's 11-6 Houston.
Boy, are you kind. Tight rim. Come on, he should have sent that one down with 2 hands.
Here comes Winston Garland.
The Clippers must establish an inside game tonight to keep Hakeem honest.
Kenny Smith misses the 3. This is a great three-point shooting team, these Houston Rockets.
Well, they usually attempt 13 attempts a ball game. Nice move.
Harper's leg must be feeling all right. He knifed to the basket very quickly, and Ron Harper has 4 points.
Well, I'm happy for him. He went up, blocked Kenny Smith's shot in game 1, came down, and ended up in the stanchion, and his leg got caught in the padding. Everyone was concerned. They gave an MRI. Doctors gave him a clear bill of health.
They're going to call the foul on Danny Manning, who went to the floor hard. And we have a timeout, Houston, 11-8. Rockets in front of the Clippers in game 2 of this Western Conference final and this Western Conference first round, and that's 2 on Danny Manning. 18 to go in the first quarter. It was the other night, the game 1, that Ron Harper was injured. This is a replay from that game.
He's going strong for the block, gets the buck. Now, as the leg hits, it gets caught in that padding. They take him to the hospital, do the MRIs. Doctors made major decisions today. He worked out lightly at noon, and then this evening came in, went hard, told Larry he's ready to go.
And has 4 points in this game early on with 6:13 to go in the first quarter.
Now in
12 on the shot clock.
In game 1, on all of the double teaming of Hakeem and Thorpe down inside, they would kick the ball out quickly, make the second pass out, and then they would hit a 3 or a high percentage jump shot. Garland and Smith had terrific nights.
Olajuwon misses from the baseline. Rebound Kenny Norman to Mark Jackson. Clippers down by 3. And now John Williams has entered the game. He's number 34. For the Los Angeles Clippers, first man off the bench.
Yeah, Hakeem is 13th in the league in steals. He always anticipates. He never just plays behind his man. So you have got to come and meet the pass.
Olajuwon to jump in for the lane.
Big time shot.
Harper has it blocked by Olajuwon on the jam attempt, and that's 2 blocks so far. Punched away by Mark Jackson, and the tie-up in the lane. Wow.
Now Horry is down at the other end of the floor, leaning over, and he has a major brace. He has tendonitis on his knee. And talking to him before the game, I said, that is really a big-time brace. And he said, yeah, but I need it for the, for any contact. Now he has stayed at that end of the floor. Now you see Hakeem make the block. Now you'll see Horry come in, and you'll see him bend over right in the middle of your picture. Now he stays at that end while Houston goes. Now we have a technical foul
on Winston Garland, who went down hard, and we nearly had some fisticuffs break out. But this veteran officiating crew of Ed T. Rush, Jack Madden, and Lee Jones stepped in and broke it up. Called the technical on Garland, and Mark Jackson sinks the technical. It's 13-9 Rockets, 5:20 to go in the first quarter.
See, Winston Garland, a lot of people think that he's either a rookie or he just came up from the CBA. Well, in '89, he played for Golden State in the playoffs and averaged 13 points a game. We're talking about a veteran player here.
Danny Manning on the bench for the Clippers with 2 personal fouls. Some verbal exchanges happening on the court right now.
Yeah, well, I think already that the Clippers are playing 100% better than they played the other night.
Kenny Norman with the follow off the Ron Harper miss. Harper goes to the floor. He's all right.
In this game tonight, we're going to see a lot of hard fouls. We're going to see them because everyone is attacking the basket.
Kenny Norman has 2 points and 5 rebounds already for the Clippers. There's the rookie Robert Horry.
See, out comes that pass now. Now that is what they did in game 1, and everyone agrees that no one could have beaten Houston in this building the other night. Larry Brown felt positive. They were in the game in the middle of the third quarter before the surge.
Norman, get it inside now, Roberts says. Let's see if this will go through the tight
Hey,
end.
big fella just threw some thunder down there, and that's what he has to do. They're not going to go up and try to block that. The man is 295 pounds, and he's 7 foot.
15-13, Rockets by 2, 4:18 to go in the first quarter. Fort kicks it out to Smith, to Garland on the penetration, and Horry. This is the three. Olajuwon has it stripped loose. It's going to belong to Houston with 22 on the shot clock.
Roberts must just say to himself, every time the shot goes up, I'm having body contact with Hakeem. I'm going to keep him off the board and let the other guys work the defensive board. But he cannot just float to the rim. Hakeem is quicker, and he elevates much higher.
Jackson and Harper rest. Gary Grant and Lester Connor come in for the Clippers.
Oh, you cannot fall asleep with Otis Thorpe. Otis Thorpe can score for you, and he can score big. He shoots 56%. He's only averaging 13 points a game, but this is probably the least amount of shots he's had in a number of years.
Rebound, Otis Thorpe. He has 5 points early in this game. Winston Garland. And Roberts tried to come out and get that ball away from Olajuwon. They did cause him a little bit of a problem. Horry limping, but still playing hard.
Beautiful.
Kenny Smith has 6 points, Olajuwon 6, and Thorpe 5 for the Rockets. They lead it by 6.
See, Kenny is a definite threat from the outside. He's one of the premier three-point shooters in the league. So when you run at him, you must say to yourself, I must protect the middle of the court and drive him to the baseline.
Clippers by 6, 19-13 with 3:23 to go in the first quarter. A couple of similarities in this game as you take a look at the scores here. Reggie Lewis didn't play, and Charlotte upset Boston in double overtime, and New Jersey got Cleveland 101-99. That should inspire the Clippers. The similarities in this game as Portland beats San Antonio is that the LA Clippers are shooting 31%. Danny Manning also in early foul trouble on the bench, just as in game number 1.
Just in game 1, absolutely. Larry Brown very concerned about that. But, you know, he's looking at this and saying, you know, he's got to play one of these two guys, and they're relying on him to get some boards and help out. Offensive foul, John Williams. Moving screen that time. You know, you always try to tell your guys, once the player with the basketball commits to his dribble, just stop and set the screen.
When John Williams sets a moving screen.
Well, I thought a little bit of that floor tilted. All right, tilted to the baseline.
Williams has added even more weight. He's battling weight. It really threatens his career, in some people's mind.
Well, we have 2 300-pounders up front right now, in Roberts and Williams.
Matt Bullard in the ball game for Houston, knocked out of bounds, 11 on the shot clock. Matt Bullard, excellent perimeter shooter. And he's big, 6'10", averages 7.5 points a game.
Now, right now, the Clippers have gone small with Lester Connor and Grant at the guard position. Harper's playing small forward.
Nice pass to Gary Grant. He kicks it back out to Lester Connor, who gets it right back to Grant.
Terrific transition defense that time by Houston.
Harper's quick pull-up right in the face of Thorpe. Rebound from Roberts. He pounds it back inside. Woo! Larry Brown was a little concerned that Roberts would be intimidated by Olajuwon because Olajuwon has really handed him his head a couple of times this year, but it's not looking that way early.
Give the Clippers a lot of credit. Their double teams are coming with great speed.
Boy, this is a physical, playoff, intense game, and that's a point that Larry Brown made about game 1. He said he looked down the bench as you look at Roberts at this playoff intensity. He looked down the bench in game 1 and said, is this the playoff?
That's right. And you could see the move right there. That was a beautiful drop step. When Stanley Roberts makes his move, he loves to move to his right from that side of the floor, and he catches a lot of defenders by surprise.
Roberts out, Boy Vaught in for the Clippers.
This is a good move. Harper on Bullard. Bullard cannot put the ball down on the floor. Harper has the quickness.
And Vaught got away with a foul there, but Olajuwon went after the rebound anyway. Now the call comes from Ed T. Rush.
Rudy T. is close to a T. Rudy is up and down. In the last 3 possessions, he's wanted a foul. But we're having the same contact at the other end. And the old story, you've got to adjust tonight.
Kenny Smith on the drive, the reversal down inside their team. 4 red shirts surrounded. Nevertheless, Olajuwon now with 8 points and 4 rebounds and 2 blocks. Grant left alone, pulls up for the jumper over Kenny Smith.
Now, game 1, Larry Brown very concerned. They were getting the open shots, taking them from outside, but they missed them. Long rebounds, Houston out on the fast break.
Foul is called on the Clippers, 23, Gary Grant.
That's on Gary Grant, his first personal foul. We have a 21-17 Rockets 4-point lead with 1:26 to go in the first quarter. In case you dialing in late here on this Saturday night for our TNT doubleheader coverage, the New Jersey Nets upset the Cleveland Cavaliers.
What a year Kenny Smith is having. He's 3rd in the league in threes. He's shooting 44%. He's 8 in free throw shooting at 88%. That's why you saw the facial expression when he missed that foul shot. He is having a sensational year.
Into the ball game for the Houston Rockets, Carl Herrera spent the summer in Venezuela. Very improved, versatile defensive player. A major factor on this team, according to Rudy T. Harper goes down. Looks like a rugby scrum.
Now remember, this Houston team is the same team a year ago that they were 18th in the league in rebounding. Couldn't stop anyone defensively. If you notice, every penetration tonight, we see 2 and 3 shirts challenging the release of the shot.
Scott Brooks in off the bench. He's been another surprise for Houston. Rudy Tomjanovich calls him feisty.
Oh. Yeah, you love him. He's such a competitor. By rights, you look at him, you say this guy can't play in the league, but he understands the game. He keeps them within their offense, and he's a terrific perimeter shooter.
Garland from long range rims out. Norman gets it to Harper. Harper on the penetration and the foul. Ron Harper playing very well tonight, and today about noontime, Larry Brown wasn't even certain that Harper would be able to be in this game tonight.
Watch the crossover right here. Boom. Excellent move. See, Harper has that big step. Now, the other evening, before he was injured, he was only 1 for 8. You're talking about your second leading scorer getting off to a bad start, then he gets injured. All right, then you lose him for the rest of the game. But tonight, in this matchup, he can take Herrera off the dribble.
He's already attempted 9 shots in this game, and Harper has 7 points with that 3-point conversion. It's a 2-point Rockets lead with under 40 seconds to go first quarter.
You can't fall asleep with the Clippers now. They're right at the top of the league in forcing turnovers, 17 a game. And they're one of the premier steal teams that are showing you half-court trapping. That clock is down.
3 seconds, 2 seconds. Offensive foul.
Rudy Tomjanovich jumped so high, I thought he was going to jump into the mezzanine.
That's higher than I saw him jump during his 11-year career.
That's right. Now just watch this right here. You're going to see, boom, moving pick. Now we read, Lester gets a half of an Oscar. Only a half. We only give him half the statue, okay? But he did get belted.
Manning, Mark Jackson back in for this final 24 seconds of the quarter for the Clippers. Rockets by 2. Clippers a chance to tie.
See what they're doing is they're going to open up the floor, allow Harper to take Herrera off the dribble.
Herrera at 6'10", more comfortable at a power forward spot, trying to defend a guard.
Gamble.
And a big jam from Ron Harper.
You never gamble as a big man outside going with a great dribbler.
Winston Garland, the runner, doesn't fall. And at the end of the first quarter, we've got a tie game. Rockets 22, Clippers 22. Playoff series between Houston and the Los Angeles Clippers, all tied at 22. Going into the second quarter, Scott Brooks at the guard, along with Winston Garland, Herrera, Olajuwon, and Bullard in there. Herrera inside.
They handled that half-court trap beautifully. The guy at the top came right down the middle. The old story, get it to the middle of the floor. Olajuwon made a beautiful pass, beautiful recognition when he took the 2-man trap.
Jackson and Manning went back out of the game after that last 20 seconds of the quarter. Traveling is the call. That's 5 turnovers for the Clippers.
When you are on the road and you're playing against a great defensive team, this team has the 3rd lowest points scored against, 99. They're right there with Chicago and New York. They're also 3rd in field goal percentage against. You cannot turn the ball over because they're going to be challenging you all night long. Each possession is like a little piece of gold.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Herrera has it blocked by Connor, but the foul is called. They're going to give it to Lester Connor. Speaking of defense,
yeah, you know, we're saying, why are they so good? They have a 4.2 differential. They're 3rd in blocks, 3rd in points allowed, 3rd in opponents' field goal percentage, and then they have held 38 opponents under 100 points. Now that's right up there with the Chicagos and the New Yorks and the Clevelands.
Carl Herrera, very versatile player at 6'10", out of the University of Houston. He's defended virtually every position on the floor. At one point, he defended Steve Smith with Miami, defended David Robinson with San Antonio. We saw him out here trying to defend Ron Harper on an isolation, which was a little out of his range even.
Well, you know, he gives them 21 minutes a game. He plays on the Venezuela Olympic team. I think he has made incredible improvements. Their coaching staff very, very happy because not only did he play well in the Olympics for his country, but he came back in the summertime and made major steps towards improvement of getting a low post game.
Loy Vaught. Beautiful inside move, but it was so beautiful. Lee Jones is going to call it.
See, Larry Brown's up and he has a right to be. You can lift your pivot foot as long as you shoot or pass. And that's exactly what he did. That's called the up and under move. But if you do it too quick, like he just did it right now, referees think that you drag your foot.
It looked too good. Sleepy Floyd in the ball game for the Houston Rockets.
Hey, give the Clippers credit, man. They're really out here. And that's off Herrera's foot.
Jack Madden overruled, says no, it is going to be Houston ball.
Well, I'll tell you, Larry didn't run down there and body press Lee Jones. So, you know, from over here, I ought to keep quiet and allow them to referee.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Scott Brooks aware of that.
Nice.
Can anybody get a shot away? That counts. He beat the buzzer. That's a 3 for Sleepy Floyd.
And, you know, he really tried to stay behind the line, Bob.
6-point Rockets lead.
Remember, this is a big three-point shooting team. 13 a game.
Gary Grant shooting over Scott Brooks.
How about Gary Grant losing 35 pounds since last season?
He looks great. Incredible quickness to begin with.
Are you going to give me that Michigan stuff again?
Well, you know, Vaught, Grant, Rudy T.
Rudy T. We're surrounded by you guys.
I can't avoid talking about the Blues. 9:49 to go in the first half. The Rockets have a 4-point lead. Olajuwon with 8 points. Kenny Smith with 7. Harper leads all scorers with 9. And we've got a timeout on the floor. And there goes the Michigan man, Loy Vaught.
Special home video to booster.
It's leading it by 4, 28-24, 9:49 to go in the first half.
Now, just watch on the pass out, the small steps right there. Small steps because Sleepy knows he's in range for a 3. Now, we want to bring this out and show you the graph. Look at that. 3 points, field goals made. They're second. They shoot 36%. Remember, they launched 13 a game, and you see they've done it consistently. And how about the fact that you have Smith and Brooks shooting over 40%?
Sleepy Floyd being defended by Ron Harper back into the ball game, along with Danny Manning and Mark Jackson. Ken Norman for the LA Clippers into Olajuwon. Defended by Vaught. Norman rebound. 4-point Rockets lead, 9:30 to go, first half.
See, in the early going, Houston, they're jamming the outlet guys in the backcourt. They're not allowing the Clippers to make the outlet pass to start the fast break.
Jackson spinning inside. The pass is knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to the Clippers.
See, Mark Jackson fooled Vaught that time because Vaught thought he was going to shoot that. He was not expecting the pass. If he caught it, he had a layup.
Inside to Harper, stripped away by Bullard, but the foul. They call it on Matt.
You have to love this strategy. with Floyd and Garland trying to play Harper. Both guys are giving away major inches. They're posting Harper, and Larry Brown has gone away from the passing game or the open court game, and he's running a lot of set plays this evening.
Harper misses at the free throw line. These are not great free throw shooting teams. Bullard sits down. Robert Horry back into the game.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. This is the major Achilles heel of the Clippers. They only shoot 71%. They are 25th in the league in foul shooting. In game 1, they missed 12.
Scott Brooks being pressured by Mark Jackson.
I like this. Good backcourt pressure, running precious seconds off the clock, which cuts down when they double team the post people on how long you have to pass the ball around the perimeter.
8 seconds to shoot. Now 5.
Nice job.
Floyd, air ball on the 3. Saved by Olajuwon, unbelievably, to Mark Jackson. Norman.
The center's open now.
Harper taking it right down to the paint. Blocked by Olajuwon. That's his 3rd of the night.
That was impressive. There is that teardrop. The Mark Jackson teardrop. It's beautiful. He really doesn't elevate and release it high. He just pushes it out right in your face.
1 point. Rockets lead. 8:20 to go, first half. Defense by Manning on Horry. 6 to shoot. Herrera with a turnaround jumper from 12.
Well, you know, Norman's upset with himself. He should be. He never challenged the shot. Anytime you got a post guy playing with his back to the basket, you've got to get up and challenge. Put the pressure on him.
Herrera 5 points off the bench. Now Sleepy Floyd trying to defend. Harper, the hook pass to Manning, lost out of bounds. That's 7 turnovers for the Clippers. Sleepy Floyd and Scott Brooks at the guards, along with Olajuwon, Herrera, and Horry in the game for Houston. Offensive foul on the rookie.
See, Horry's having a problem. You can see that he does not have his agility. The leg is definitely bothering him. We watched him this afternoon. Rudy T can see that. He knows he's playing with a lot of pain. The tendonitis is there, but the young man made a big contribution in game 1, and he wants to play. That's the guy who's got to get going.
Horry at the rebound. Brooks, pull up 3. Danny Manning stepped in front of Olajuwon. Here's Ron Harper. 3-point Rockets lead.
Danny Manning, 23rd, 23 points a game. He's got to get it cooking here.
Mark Jackson getting it cooking. It's a 1-point game with 7:11 to go in the half. Sleepy Floyd sees the lane open. And the foul.
You always try to tell inside guys, will you please take away the lane, get in front of the guy, don't rely on the fact that the referee is going to favor you on a shot block. Now right there, did he block the shot? Yes, he did, but he catches the man with his chest.
That's 2 on Roberts. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Hubie Brown and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. Sleepy Floyd, very limited minutes in a reduced role since the early part of this season.
Absolutely. He would not be in this game right now if Vernon Maxwell were healthy. They say they're taking the cast off tomorrow for the exam. They're hoping that Maxwell will be able to play in game, maybe 3, definitely in game 4.
You hear a lot of good things about Vernon Maxwell, about the growth and the maturity of that young man since Rudy Tomjanovich took over the team.
Oh, he's had an outstanding season. See, they missed not only his points, but his quickness from circle to circle, because he would create for you, and then he is one of their premier defensive guys. Now, you could see right there, Robert, that was a beautiful quick move, and once again, rolling to the inside of the lane, catching you on his back.
Leaded by 2, Danny Manning struggling in this game just as he did early in game number 1, carrying 2 personal fouls, has not scored in the game. And by the way, the foul right before we went away on the timeout was on Hakeem Olajuwon, and Hakeem now has 2 personals, as does Stanley Roberts, the center for the Clippers.
The reason why the Manning thing is such a big deal
He shoots 51%. He shoots 80% free on the foul line. So what you are looking for is for his man to get into foul trouble, forcing Houston to make some substitutions. Now this is an adventure, what we're watching right now.
The free throw shooting.
The free throw shooting. All right, Robert shoots a very healthy 49%.
That's in the John Concact category. John Concact shooting like 48%.
But I'll tell you, he's made big strides, though, from the start of this season. He shoots a high percentage, over 52 a game. He rebounds, he blocks shots. Does a nice job.
Good transition defense on the part of the Clippers. They have sometimes a problem matching up immediately because they don't have the same man-to-man matchups on both sides.
Oh, I'm very impressed with their effort tonight. They are really after it.
The three rims in and out off the right hand of Robert Horry. It'll belong to the Houston Rockets. New shot clock. There's a foul. And that's the first on Ron Harper. Houston has already launched 6 3-point shots tonight. They've hit 1.
Well, when you have good post-up people like Thorpe and Olajuwon, you always play inside out.
Olajuwon with the stutter step.
Oh,
tip in from Carl Herrera.
Oh, yes. That was beautiful. He was blocked out, elevated over the top of Norman, and shocked him that he tapped that down.
Roberts, quick spin move, and the major jam. Those are 3 thunder dunks in this game from the big fella.
Now, you notice he's always spinning back on that reverse move.
As soon as he found out, as I pointed out, that it was a tight rim, he stopped the finesse stuff.
That's right.
And went to the stuff. 8 seconds to shoot. Foul on Roberts. That'll be 3.
Well, he's
around Hakeem.
You know, that's his biggest problem, okay? He leads the league in committing fouls, 332. He leads the league in foul outs, 15. Well, you say why? He's 23 years old. He gets no respect from the officials. He leans over because of excess weight and fatigue. He gets caught behind reaching silly fouls.
He's replaced by John Williams. Manning, Williams, Mark Jackson, Harper, and Ken Norman on the floor. Now Thorpe is in for Robert Horry.
You know, Hakeem Olajuwon last year, for the first time in 8 years, did not make the All-NBA team, first, second, or third team. This year, he's back with a vengeance, and I will be shocked if he's not the #1 center when the voting comes out at the end of the year.
One of 4 very strong candidates for most valuable player voting. Ewing, Jordan, Barkley, and Olajuwon.
What do all 4 guys have in common other than the fact that they are great players, great all-around players? They're all 30 years old, right on the button.
That's a good one.
All right.
Is that a key to MVP, being about 30?
Well, just think about it. They're all 30 years of age. They all have a complete game, and they all are having sensational seasons.
Who are you going to vote for?
I think that my vote, I'm going to cover 2 guys. I'm going to cover Olajuwon and Michael Jordan. I thought Michael Jordan had a year this year. He had to make up for the fact of lack playing time for Paxson as well as Cartwright. I thought he personally by himself won so many games this year, and he never really got the proper credit. But this guy, Olajuwon, has improved his team 13 games, second most improvement in the league, and there is nobody in this league in 5 categories, in 5 categories where he's 13th or lower. Now that's staggering what he's doing.
Manning's first 2 points of the game gives the Clippers their first lead since it was 2-0.
Well, they're dangerous. When they're playing their game, they can play with anyone.
A chance to build on that lead. Mark Jackson. Ken Norman.
And this guy, see, he hasn't even opened up yet. He's a primetime scorer for them, Norman.
Herrera impressive off the bench for the Houston Rockets. With that rebound. Going to get Winston Garland back in the game in a moment for Houston. The lob inside to Olajuwon, stolen by Kenny Norman.
Get it out. Look up. Nice.
Big thunder jam from Norman, and Herrera and Norman are going chest to chest. There's a technical on Ken Norman.
They call a technical on Kenny because he was right in the face of Herrera, okay? But I got news for you. You know, if we show this replay, you look back a little bit further. All right, now he throws it down. All right, you're going to watch this now. As he throws this baby down, he goes right into Herrera now, and that was an accidental bump. See, and that's what they're trying to eliminate. You can see Herrera catches him as he's lifting up the ball. But what they're trying to eliminate is the trash talking, and I'm happy about that.
Kenny Smith hit the technical free throw. It's 36-37, Clippers by 1. Make it 37-35. The scoreboard's wrong here. 37-35 is the score. Now they correct it. 4:38 remaining in the first half.
Now you're a Clipper fan, you're a Clipper coach, you're doing all of this without your primetime scorer Manning, averaging 22, struggling, and Norman, who averages 15, struggling.
Manning with 2 points, Norman with 4. Olajuwon finesses it around the rim and it rolls out. He only 3 of 11 in this game. Norman with the drive and the foul. We'll go to the line.
See, they're playing spirited basketball. When you have a point guard as clever as Mark Jackson is unique because he makes good decisions on the break. He knows who to give it to in the certain areas. And then what you like about the Clippers this evening, they're not pulling up and taking the jump shots like they did in Game 1. They're taking it strong to the basket.
Connor and Gary Grant are coming in the ball game for Jackson and Harper for the Los Angeles Clippers. Gary Grant, 23, Connor, number 7. This is Houston's first appearance on national television since they opened the season on TNT in Japan.
And I was there.
You were there.
Hakeem had a great game. It was Houston-Seattle. Seattle defeated them in back-to-back games there. And everyone was concerned about Houston. Will Hakeem Olajuwon, put in a great effort this season because of his problems with management? So all he did was sign an extension of 4 years for $25 million until the year 99, and he has come in with an MVP type of season, and he's carried this team on his back to a division championship for only the 3rd time in the history of this organization.
He stepped in as a team leader, and as Larry Brown said of Houston, they have become a team. Olajuwon's turnaround baseline jumper rings in this time. 1 point Clippers lead, 3:51 to go in the half.
He negated that double team like they weren't even there.
Bullet pass into Norman. He's fouled by Herrera.
Larry Brown had to make a big decision. He and his coaching staff said, do we play our open style or do we go to set plays? And you can see this evening he has made the right decision. They are getting high percentage shots. They're getting on the foul line, but then they've got to continue the defense and they must make the foul shots.
Norman, a 60% free throw shooter. Roberts at 49, as UB pointed out. John Williams at 54%. I mean, they have a lot of guys who really struggle at the line, and Norman is one of them.
And unfortunately, Bob, they're the guys that get to the line.
Ken Norman out of the University of Illinois. Gets one of them. It's a 2-point Clippers lead.
Well, a year ago, they opened up at Utah, get routed, but come back and steal Game 2.
Connor, a near steal. Garland down inside. No place to go with it except back out at the top. 8 on the shot clock for Kenny Smith. Leaner. Rebound Manning. Gary Grant on the run. That's Manning's first rebound. He has only 2 points. Excellent ball movement by the Clippers. Thorpe with the rebound.
The first 6 minutes, we had a track meet here. Houston in white blowing down. But if you notice, because they have stayed out of the perimeter game, Houston has been struggling to get out on the break.
John Williams with the foul. No shot.
Timeout, Clippers.
The Clippers are going to get a timeout here with 2:59 to go in the first half. The Clippers leading it by 2.
For John Williams, his
the cheering because a young lady in a promotion here just buried a 3 at the buzzer and wins, I don't know, something, a Big Mac or something. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report, Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios with Don Nelson. Scores and highlights from the Hornets, Celtics, Spurs, Blazers, Nets, Cavs. Recap of yesterday's Jazz Sonics game. Nets upset the Cavs. Hornets got the Celtics in double overtime, and the Blazers came back with Clyde Drexler and beat the Spurs today. Danny Manning, as you see, his struggling. He started out with 2 quick early fouls, only 2 points, 1 rebound, 0 for 3 from the floor. The points came from the free throw line. Olajuwon has an opportunity to tie this game with the Rockets with 2:59 to go in the first half.
You know, when you look back at Hakeem's career, you know, it's kind of staggering when you see, you know, the kind of accolades that he has won through the years. He's made the All-NBA first team 3 times, second team twice, third team once. He's had 20 points and 10 rebounds on 5 occasions.
Mark Jackson, Manning, Loy, Vaught, Grant, and Harper on the floor for the Clippers, tied at 39. Jackson on the penetration, kick out to Vaught, air ball, off Houston. It's going to be Clippers ball.
That was a beautiful pass once again by Mark Jackson. They're changing the call right now, and to the betterment of the game, really. That was the referees got together, overruled the call. See, Mark Jackson once again catches Vaught, and he was stunned that he got the pass again.
A lot of physical contact on the post. Thorpe and Manning really going at each other.
I like
call
that
it for Thorpe.
Yeah, Rudy Tomjanovich does not like it. He's very upset. You see it down inside. See, because he fronted him, see, Thorpe got upset. And that's the old story. Use your reverse moves, move up the line, but do something other than throw the guy out of there.
That's 3 on Thorpe.
That's a big foul.
Danny Manning, the lead-in. Offensive foul on Manning.
And
that'll be 3 on Manning.
And you know what? He never should have done that. Because if he would have reversed the ball, there's a coach that's getting a migraine headache. All he had to do was reverse the ball. They had 2-on-1 on the other side of the floor, wide open. Instead, he forced it because he's feeling it. Hey, I average 23 points a game. I've got to get my numbers up here right now.
And he realizes he's only 1 foot taller than Scott Brooks. Was drooling so much he could not help but take the shot. Olajuwon with the lob. They love to lob it down inside there.
Good call.
Foul against the Clippers.
Good call.
From Loy Vaught.
Well, this year, they're cleaning up 1 hand in the back with the push or 2 hands in the back. And that time, Loy got caught pushing out.
Hakeem Olajuwon to the line. He has 13 points thus far in this game, carrying 2 personal fouls, 4 rebounds, and 4 blocks.
An interesting thing about this basketball team, the Houston Rockets, they're the only team in the NBA who has defeated every team at least once.
I would like to have seen Houston with their effort in Game 1 in this series playing Chicago with their effort last night. That would have been a beauty.
And remember, Vernon Maxwell not here.
Ken Norman, the flat jumper doesn't fall. Bullard rebound. Winston Garland at controls along with Scott Brooks in the backcourt. 3-guard lineup for the Rockets. Bullard for 3.
No cigars tonight. Game 1, they were 6 for 10 from the 3-point line.
Posting up Ron Harper against Kenny Smith.
You see, boy, he's got to get out of there. That's what Harper's telling him. Will you please get out of there?
Kenny Norman, another flat jumper. This one goes down. And it's tied at 41 with 1:15 to go in the first half. That's the 7th tie in this game. There have been 3 lead changes. Garland open from 12 feet. Rebound Loy Vaught. Out to Harper. Has Norman way up floor. Does he see him? No. Now he does.
Nice.
Norman is mugged down inside.
Norman said, does it count? Well, you can get it as long as it does not hit the backboard or it must get above the rim. And they all had contact with that shot before it got to rim level.
Norman back to the free throw line. The foul was called on Matt Bullard, his
And
second.
Norman will shoot 2.
Now this is a franchise that must make some big decisions at the end of this year. The man on the line becomes a free agent. Danny Manning,
Connor is in the game for Mark Jackson.
Harper, and Grant. Now they've already re-signed Mark Jackson, right? But there are 4 outstanding players here, and they must work out these contracts, or we're going to see a mass exodus.
Until then, the Clippers were shooting 80% at the line tonight, far above their season average of just under 72%. Right now, 1-point lead with 47 seconds remaining in the half.
They have done an outstanding job defensively out here on the perimeter in double teaming everyone and getting seconds off the clock.
Gary Grant with a good job there. Vaught with a rebound.
Pass the ball.
Harper
Nice.
to Vaught on the follow. And the Clippers now with a 3-point lead and under 30 seconds to go. That's their biggest lead of this game.
Remember when we were kids growing up? Give and go. Give it up, go, and you get it back.
I never got it back. Brooks. The kick out, another rebound from Kenny Norman this time, and the foul is going to be on the Houston Rockets with 10.9 seconds remaining in the half. Let's see who they're calling it on.
No call on Houston's 50. Matt Bullard.
It's on Bullard, his third.
Personal foul.
There have been 2 or 3 opportunities here for the officials to call it on Bullard or Olajuwon, and Bullard got them all. Olajuwon carries 2 personal.
Can we get fined by the league office if we say something?
I don't think so. I think is allowable. Tree Rollins about to get into the game, along with Terry Teagle for the final 10.9 seconds of this half. Tree Rollins, UB Brown, I remember when you were coaching the Hawks and drafted this guy out of
He was a great one. How about this statement at the end of last season after 16 years in the league? This is the most selfish, unmotivated, leaderless team that I have ever seen this year. We have the talent, but we lack maturity. All of a sudden, we are playing together, and everyone likes each other. Right? He said it's a miracle.
I don't get it, he said. 5-point Clippers lead. 7-0 Clippers run.
Got to give a lot of credit to Rudy Tomjanovich, what he's built here.
Keyed by defense. That's the end of the first half. The Clippers finish very strong and lead at 46-41 at the half. Keyed by increased intensity and outstanding defense. Houston held to 19 points in the second quarter.
Clippers with a 5-point lead over the Rockets. This is the Reebok Halftime Report. I'm Ernie Johnson. This is Don Nelson. Getting a 2-0 lead in a series proving to be very difficult. 3 teams have tried today and all failed, and the Rockets have their hands full with the Clips.
Yeah, they really do. There's a couple of positives going on for the Clips. First of all, Harper's doing pretty well. A lot better than we thought he would do.
Yeah.
They've got a really good game control going offensively, and they've kept the score down. And the other reason the score is low is because they're double-teaming Hakeem a little quicker than they did in Game 1.
And as you said earlier, you can't let him dominate on both ends of the floor, and right now the Clippers leading by 5 at the break. Let's take a quick look at what else transpired on this playoff Saturday in the NBA. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Derek Coleman going to work again. He had more help from his teammates, but again, he was the story for the Nets as New Jersey tied up the series with Cleveland 101-99. And what did Mr. Coleman do? Oh, only had 27 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and played the entire ball game. Charlotte and Boston at Boston Garden. Kevin McHale looking young again today.
He dug down and he got something extra for this ball game. Too bad they didn't get a win.
Watch Robert Parrish go up, and McHale just battle and battle. A season-high 30 points. That tied the game in overtime. They went double OT. Larry Bird loved that, but Larry Johnson loved this. The only bucket of the second overtime period. Only 3 points were scored total. Charlotte wins at 99-98, and they have tied the series at a game apiece. In San Antonio and Portland, Clyde was back and looking strong, Coach.
Oh, they need Clyde bad, and he came big today. He was injured. He wasn't 100%. He still managed to get 21 points.
Almost matched his jersey number. Portland matches up that series at a game apiece, 105-96. Tomorrow night, the Utah-Seattle series resumes. We'll get a good look at Sean Kemp, and the halftime spotlight falls on Sean when we come back. Houston lead the Rockets by 5 as the Reebok halftime report continues. Tomorrow night, we're going to have Utah and Seattle. 9 o'clock Eastern is the tip. Shawn Kemp plays for the Seattle Supersonics. This guy faces Shawn Kemp from time to time, and probably seen more of him than you care to, Nelly.
Yeah, he totally knocked us out of the playoffs a year ago. We couldn't guard him. A lot of my guys made highlight films trying to guard him. He only averaged 22 and 16 against us.
Yeah, that's not bad, with career highs and rebounds, I guess, on a couple of those nights. And he got off to a great start this season in the playoffs at the expense of the Utah Jazz. 29 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks in the opener, and our Craig Sager was there to see him at his devastating best.
After months of sporadic demonstrations of potential greatness, Shawn Kemp's star has blazed into orbit, sparking the Supersonics to a super start in the playoffs.
I think we were able to get some easy points out on a fast break. Made some good offensive decisions myself, and I think the guys just around me all stepped up and played a higher level of basketball.
He played a great ball game, and I think he got off to an early start. And I think that anytime you let a player with that talent get off to an early start, I think he can cause you trouble.
As the regular season wound down, Sonics coach George Karl grabbed national attention when he benched his erratic all-star for using more style than substance.
Shawn's a good kid, and coaches, when you make decisions like that, it's tough. It's tough as a coach, and I just felt it was the best thing to do for our team at the time, and I think he's shown that he's a real professional. He's maturing and growing.
Kemp is not only starting, he is finishing, demonstrating forceful leadership and executing moves, skills, and shots that have lit up Seattle and dimmed Utah's chances for an upset.
He got the hustle plays in the ball game that really got them going. He was able to get the offensive rebounds. He was able to run the floor. He was doing those little things that you really constantly have to concentrate very hard on him to make sure you try to keep him off the boards and keep him from getting in the open court.
Tomorrow night, Shawn Kemp and the Mailman, round 2. Seattle leading 1-0. Report. Nelly, you've been here for 3 nights. We haven't talked much about your Golden State Warrior team, but we want to do that now. And I think in your only regular season visit to Atlanta, fans were treated to a rare sight.
Yeah, they certainly were. I want to show you our team. They only played 2 minutes and some odd seconds together all season long. We have Hardaway over here, and we have Mullen over here, Sharunas Marciulionis over here, Billy Owens over here. This is Tyrone Hill in the middle. He was healthy, my only healthy guy this year. But ain't they beautiful? I mean, and they can all play. Now, I taught Sharunas this move last year, I want you to know.
Yeah. Let me get out the hip waders, okay? Look at these guys. They played together 2 minutes and 37 seconds, those 4 together. That's the heart of your team. And really, that was really the major part of the Warrior woes. Look at the injuries and the effect they had on you. Missing 306 games and 32 different starting lineups. And I know you like to coach, man, but do you like to coach it that much where you got to keep changing?
Actually, I look back on the year. It was a tough year, don't get me wrong, but there were an awful lot of positives that happened in that year. We got to play a lot of our young guys, and we found out that a lot of them can play.
Like Sprewell. What a year.
Yeah, he's going to be he is an excellent player. He's going to be a star player. And, other guys like Alexander had a chance to show what they could do. Gatling could show what he could do. Tyrone Hill. And we know that all our guys are going to be healthy. They're going to come back.
Mullen, too, he's going to be healthy?
No question about it. In fact, he can start shooting probably this week.
So you'll like to have him back. But he is so dangerous. And it had to really be devastating to go into stretch drives without this guy, the heart and soul, really.
Well, when he got his injury and we knew that he was out for the year, we knew we were doomed then. We always had hope before. We always thought, well, maybe Sharunas will come back. We're going to get Billy back at some time. But when Mully went down, we knew that we probably were not a playoff team.
So the playoffs weren't in the cards, but the lottery is, the draft and all that. And, what are you looking at? Are we going to have a guy, bigger than 6'9", 6'10" in the middle for your bunch?
Well, wouldn't that be nice? There's a guy that
like
declared.
Sean Bradley?
Yeah, Sean Bradley declared, and he'd be about the right size. 7'6" isn't bad. I like that.
But what's the book on him now? A lot of people might want to look at it and say, oh, he's just a big, tall guy like Manute Ball, but that's wrong. I think the insiders know this guy's got a game.
Well, he had a body, about like Manute, but he can play. And where Manute can only block shots, this guy can block shots, he can pass, he can score, he can do a lot of things. And right now, if the draft were held today and we were lucky enough to get number 1, I think we would take Sean Bradley.
We will see. Of course, we'll have the draft here on TNT, but straight ahead, we have got the third period of our second game of the doubleheader. The Clippers and the Rockets. The Clips with a 5-point lead.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that on Planet Reebok, there are no limits.
Clippers with a 5-point lead over the Houston Rockets despite 15 points from Hakeem Olajuwon in the first half of play. We mentioned at the beginning of the telecast that it was a big honor for Hakeem Olajuwon, as he's been recognized as the NBA player who contributes the most to his team's overall success by utilizing a computer evaluation of key offensive and defensive stats, the IBM award to Hakeem Olajuwon, the 1993 IBM award winner. And these, Olajuwon, it always is a story, but it's been the Clippers. Game one, they did not have the playoff intensity, according to Larry Brown. Didn't play the kind of defense, didn't get out and do the things they needed to do. That's not been the case in the first half of this game.
Now, he said less jump shots.
Yep.
So when we miss, they don't fast break. Get back defensively. They're doing a terrific job there. Make the extra pass. They're doing that. Yep. Can we establish something below the foul line? And they're definitely doing that.
So the Los Angeles Clippers have the 5-point lead. It starts with defense and rebounding. This is Vaught keying the fast break.
Well, they run hard themselves. They'll get the ball out. They've been making the extra pass all night long. So the trailers will run hard on the break, doing a terrific job. At the other end of the floor, they've been trapping hard. Now Hakeem hits this one. This is a primetime shot, but he's still only 4 for 12 from the field. So you must appreciate what they're doing from a defensive standpoint. Now, how about that stat? 63 tonight, only 36% because of the double teaming, and this is what it's all about. When you double team, you open up the guards on the perimeter. They killed them with the threes in game one. Tonight they're struggling. What's happening? One shot, and here come the Clippers on the fast break.
And we talked about their difficulty with the free throw line. Look at this in game two tonight. Already more free throws than in the entire game 2 nights ago.
That's the pressure tonight all the way to the end of this game. And then, other than Hakeem, the other starters, only 15 points in this game. So you look at the overall defensive intensity and physical effort out here tonight, you have to love it if you're a Clipper fan and you're a member of their coaching staff.
And Danny Manning, whom you're looking at now as we get started, 0 for 3, has only 2 points in this game, 2 rebounds, and his only 2 points came at the free throw line. Despite that, the Clippers lead it by 5 points. Horry was also scoreless, the rookie, number 34 for Houston. 4 seconds, 3. That's a violation.
Oh, that cost.
24-second violation.
See, the double teaming of Hakeem, he's not getting an opportunity, and Rudy understands this, and he's trying to tell him what to do with the ball. Make the pass out of the double team and stop eating up all the time on the clock. Because what's happening is the Clippers are double teaming, and they're having plenty of time to get back to the first pass out. They're not making the second pass right now.
Manning, Norman, Roberts, Harper, and Jackson on the floor for the Clippers. Horry, Thorpe, Olajuwon, Garland, and Kenny Smith for Houston. Roberts keeping that alive. Stanley Roberts, by the way, playing with 3 personal fouls.
See, Larry Brown opened up the floor that time for Manning, and he was contented. There you go, big
and the
fella.
Foul on Olajuwon, and that will be 3 on Hakeem.
Now remember, this young man is only 23. At the end of his sophomore year, he left LSU. He goes over to Spain, plays in Europe for Real Madrid. He only averaged 12 points and 8 rebounds in Spain.
And had a lot of Spanish pizzas.
There you go. But now I'm telling you, you got to be impressed with the guy, because if he is not an outstanding player in this league, it's going to be all his own fault, because he has the tools.
7-point Clippers lead, 11 minutes to go, third quarter. Olajuwon, turnaround baseline jumper, rims out. Manning, rebound. Mark Jackson, bounce pass. And the finesse lay-in. Roberts hits the floor hard. He's all right.
How about that pass by Mark Jackson? Once again, Mark, he knows who to give the basketball to, and he can make the pass.
Olajuwon missed the lob and lay-in attempt. And the Clippers have their biggest lead of the game. It's a 9-point lead. It's an 11-point lead. Rudy Tomjanovich says, give me a timeout, please.
Oh, and are they feeling good? A little boogie move right there, huh? By Harper? Of course, they should feel happy. The defense is there. They're challenging everything, and then they're converting on the break.
Houston has been outscored by the Clippers 13-0 since Houston led 41-39 with 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Garland on the penetration, offensive foul.
Now, that was excellent coaching. They came out of that timeout in a half-court 1-3-1 trap. First time this evening. When the ball went into Olajuwon, the trap was there, and everyone rotated on that dribble penetration. Beautiful. See, they're trying to get him at the top of the circle where he can make some penetration.
Talking about Danny Manning, who has no field goals in this game.
That's right. And only 3 shot attempts.
11-point lead for the Clippers. 10:04 to go, third quarter.
See, here's the trap again. See, this is smart. See, they're going to take them out of what they're trying to run in regards to a set offense and force them. Now they drop back man-to-man, and you're already at 10 seconds.
Now 6 seconds. Horry trying to beat Harper off the dribble and gets the foul. Harper bailed him out of that one.
Yeah, he did. You know that Horry has absolutely limited mobility here off the dribble. So you knew he was going to elevate right there. But Harper is being aggressive all night. You have to love his game. He's attacking the basket. And this is a guy at lunchtime today. We were thinking he might not play until Monday night.
Horry gets the first one. Let's take a look at tonight's GMC scoreboard. In between the free throws here, it was Charlotte in double overtime. 1 hoop scored only by Larry Johnson and Charlotte in that double overtime win. That series tied at 1. New Jersey upsets Cleveland by 2. Petrovic 21 points. That's tied at 1. Portland tied that series after San Antonio got the first game. Clyde Drexler returned, and so did the win. Norman with the jam.
Great pass off the dribble. Now that was a 35-foot bounce pass to a guy backdooring out of the corner. Just beautiful. See, they're showing you 1-3-1, but now they're playing you man-to-man.
3 men around Olajuwon. That leaves Garland open for the penetration. Tough shot over Stanley Roberts by the little Winston Garland. He has 4 points in this game.
Maybe rain? What do you think?
Maybe
that
rain.
one up high enough to bring the rain.
Rained out today's round of the Houston Open Golf Tournament, as a matter of fact, speaking of rain. Roberts travels. He said, no, that's my move.
First time, though. First time down in that area. He's been catching Olajuwon on his back. He is so big across the backside and up across those shoulders. He hooks you, it's over.
Double team on Olajuwon. He kicks it to Horry. Horry having trouble with his leg tonight, more so than he did in game 1, and the rookie is 0 for 5.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Manning. First field goal of the night for Danny. He has 4 points.
That makes everyone happy. Not only Manning, but the rest of the guys. See, they all shot him the arm. You know, relax. That's going to come. Stay within the flow of the offense.
Danny Manning playing with 3 personal fouls, as is Stanley Roberts. 12-point Clippers lead. Garland from Kenny Smith. It'll belong to Houston. Houston's perimeter game just not dropping it.
No, not there at all. We emphasized that in game 1, they made 6 out of 10 threes. Never mind the variety of jump shooting from 15 to 18 feet while everyone was open. Now tonight, from the perimeter, our statistician Mariano just hit us with a 5 for 26 in tonight's ballgame.
How does he always know that stuff? Thorpe. Offensive foul they call on the hook. Jack Madden with a call.
Yeah, see, Thorpe's frustrated down inside this evening.
That's 4 on Otis Thorpe.
Right. Now, see, we said that in the first half when he was trying to post up and he threw the guy to the ground. Now, once again, you can see he hit it right in there with that elbow. There was absolutely no place to go. I love the Clippers game tonight. They're trapping hard.
No wonder Larry Brown's always got a furrowed brow. He doesn't know which team's going to show up. Harper drains the 3. Ron Harper, and he has 15 points.
Now remember that they are 26th in the league in threes. All right, they never shoot threes, this team.
Kenny Smith shoots him, and he drains this one. Clippers by 12, 7:28 to go in the third quarter. You get a feeling, though, that Houston is in a lull and they're going to make a run.
Yeah, they're going to make a run because they're an outstanding defensive team. And right now, everything is going 100% from an offensive standpoint, the way that the Clippers have diagrammed it. Nice pass.
Roberts' jump hook spins out. Olajuwon gets the loose ball. Houston down by 12. Inside to Olajuwon as Roberts was caught out on Kenny Smith. That caused the foul.
Roberts tried to help out a guard who had the situation under control. The most dangerous guy in this gym is Hakeem Olajuwon. You cannot be fooling around with these guards out at the perimeter. Please find Olajuwon.
Game. Tonight he's really suffering as you see the ice on the knee as Robert Horry goes to the sideline.
Now he has had a terrific rookie season. They are very happy. He's an excellent defender, a shot blocker. He gives them 10 points and 5 rebounds out of that small forward position.
Olajuwon draws 3 red shirts. Clippers shooting 67% in this quarter. Raised that percentage. Houston only 29%. Almost a reverse from game number 1.
Now he made that look easy. He had a knife, slither his way down the lane, and come up with a reverse spin layup that time.
Olajuwon to Bullard for 3. Not this time. Bullard's a pretty good three-point shooter, though. He's taken more than 280 attempts this year. If you can imagine that. Half of his field goal attempts have been from outside the three-point stripe.
He has a good job description and he fills it. See, that's what I like. I like that play right there. There is no way that they can stop Harper with either Garland or Kenny Smith down inside. First of all, the size, the quickness of the moves, and the athletic ability to just get up and rise up over the top of them for the shot.
Harper 4 of 4 this quarter. He has 19 points in this game, and as we told you when we met with Larry Brown around lunchtime today, Brown wasn't even certain that he would be able to play in this game after re-injuring that surgical right knee in game number 1. But he's back with a vengeance, and the Clippers are leading it 63-47. This Summit crowd, 16,611, stunned by this performance by the Clippers.
Now that is a primetime move because he was totally under control. That's what I like about him this evening. He's not overly quick. He's reading the defenses because he's so clever with the basketball. He's getting to where he can get himself a high percentage shot.
Remember, the Clippers have not even beaten Houston once this year. Olajuwon struggling tonight, one of his rare off games. Look at that quick transition and the foul.
See, right now, really, Tom John, if it's Houston, they're a little exasperated because they didn't think that he was hit on that move. But if you think about it this evening, the Clippers are attacking the rim with like a passion. They are really going strong, and you really can't do anything about that. The smartest thing is foul them, put them on the line, force them to make their foul shots. Now, in the first half, they shocked everyone by making 14 out of 18.
John Williams in the game, along with Gary Grant and Lester Connor. Roberts will get a rest, as will Mark Jackson and Ron Harper. Ron Harper is coming out into the locker room with one of the assistant trainers. Good camera shot there by our alert TNT Sports Crew.
See Gary Grant on the ball right now on Kenny Smith. Excellent defender and can really pressure you. Terrific rotation there.
After the trap, Lester Connor gets the steal. 64-47 Clippers. Gary Grant's all alone. Olajuwon.
You have to give them the due. Houston still has not figured out all his trapping from half court to the three-point circle.
Houston, 2 field goals this quarter. Inside to Herrera, stripped away by Grant, but the foul. Get that. There's 5 minutes left in this quarter. Only 2 field goals by the Houston Rockets.
Well, if you think about it, Bob, how many times have they been open? Really wide open for an uncontested
They
shot.
haven't been.
You see, that's right.
Exactly.
Because they're double teaming inside, their rotations are excellent, and when they have to run that 20 feet to get to the open guy, that guy is making the effort.
Maybe they're nervous because they're on television. I've been on national television all year long. I don't want to take that responsibility, do you? Nah. Everybody here in the gym tonight, by the way, in Houston says, Hubie, why haven't you had our team on this year? Most people don't know that you schedule all our games.
Yeah, right.
You know, huh? Now they know. Harper's back, so apparently it was all right. Scott Brooks about to get into the game for Houston. Houston really struggling. They have scored only 7 points in this quarter. Grant misses. Roberts rebound back to Grant. He's missed 3 straight perimeter shots.
Yeah, that was a good call. I see that is a foul on Danny Manning.
And it's his 4th.
It is 4th.
Personal foul.
Eddie Rush right on that call.
Scotty Brooks is in the game.
Ron Harper now getting back in the game.
Ron Harper is in the game.
Now you're struggling. You're the leader of this team. 23 points a game. All-star player for the first time. You don't attack a guy falling out of bounds when you already have 3. Have to play a little smarter.
Olajuwon inside. Olajuwon with 17, his first 2 points of this half. 14-point Clippers lead with 4:26 to go in the third.
Now, right now, the Clippers do not have a lot of offensive players on the floor. They only have Harper and Norman, and you have to go to these guys.
Norman pulls up from 18. Rebound Herrera. Crowd cheering for defense. They got it from the Rockets that time. Rockets, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. That call is on Gary Grant, and now the crowd back in the game.
No, you see, technical foul. You got to stay away from that, see? Now, Grant's upset. He gave him excellent defense. He made the bump. There was contact. The referees are not allowing anyone to talk back tonight. They're hitting you with the tee right away. Now, what happens is you're going to see the bump. So he gets him right there. All right, the call. Now, then boom, he hits him again. So he fouled him twice. And now you say, well, that was a hand check. Wait, the hand check went out in 1980. Now, I know some nights it's not called, okay, but it was called tonight.
The free throw is good at 64-51. Clippers with 4:07 to go in the third quarter. Clippers by 13 with 4:07 to go in the third quarter, trying to even this first-round Western Conference playoff series.
Now, Grant has already committed the foul. Now, you go over, you see Eddie said, get your hands off me. All right, he hits him with a tee. All right, now, they're shooting 1-1, plus the technical, and everybody's upset. Larry Brown calls an excellent timeout. I've got to sit these guys down, cool everybody, and let's talk. We're ahead here. We're up 13. Now we're putting an excellent foul shooter on the line. They're going to close it down, but we must regroup. Come on, we're on the road. They're going to make a run at us because Bob Neal called it about 3 minutes ago.
There you go. Brooks gets them both, and it's an 11-point Clippers lead. Houston has scored 6 straight points.
Remember what I told you about this group that's on the floor? They only have 2 real scorers, and that's Harper and Norman.
10 to shoot for the Clippers. Defensive intensity definitely has risen for the Rockets.
Absolutely.
3 to shoot. Grant from 20 feet gets the air ball. 6 straight Rockets points. Looking for Olajuwon. He's fouled.
Strong foul, smart foul. And Hakeem, he realizes that. See, when you play at playoff time, you always must be careful about your team that you have on the floor of whether you can score or not. And now right here, now that's a good strong foul. Hakeem protects himself. He's going to the line to shoot 2.
And that's 4 on Gary Grant.
Now Hakeem, through his career, if you remember, he was a consistent low 60% foul shooter. This year, he's increased it to 78%.
Only hitting about a third of his field goal attempts tonight, however. The Clippers have done a great job surrounding Hakeem Olajuwon. He's really become a greatly improved passer out of the trap, but he's been trapped by 3 and sometimes 4 red jerseys.
Well, Rudy made a good point to us today, and that is we really have excellent depth. They feel they have. They believe. We're running back to what everyone else thinks, but the big thing tonight is the perimeter guys cannot make a shot.
Ron Harper, not this time. Olajuwon comes away with it. Clippers have cut the lead to 9, have scored 8 straight points.
Good defensive teams are never out of the playoff game.
Loose ball foul, and it's going to be on Houston.
But it's only the 3rd for the quarter, and so you're not shooting. Taking it on the side.
Clippers have committed 5 team fouls, and the Rockets have committed 3 thus far, with 3:05 to go in the quarter.
Now, see, Larry had to come back with Roberts right now.
Brooks finally committed the foul.
Now, that is only their 4th. Everyone is upset here because Brooks did a flop. All right, Mark Jackson hardly touched them. We got a flop, and then the people felt that Mark Jackson popped them right there. Now, Brooks is feisty.
Brooks is a nightmare.
Yeah, he's in your face.
Not any fun if he's on. Not any fun. 9-point Clippers lead. Stanley Roberts.
There you go. Make the next pass.
Connor, good drive and pass.
There
Roberts
you go.
gets the tip.
How about that? First time tonight, Stanley went to the front of the rim when Olajuwon moved for the double team. Stanley Roberts, 7 for 9 from the field this evening.
There's that double team on Olajuwon. He got it out of there very quickly. Goes to the other side. Bullard hits the 3. Clippers by 8.
Bullard can make them. That's why he's in the game. He's a specialist. He's a 3-point shooter at 6'10".
Olajuwon rebounding. The Clippers had led by 17. It's been reduced to 8. Herrera is fouled. He'll go to the line. And this crowd is back in it. You see a real basketball team here in Houston. That has not always been the case. They've had some great players, but not really a team that's banded together. You've got to credit that to the veterans like Olajuwon and his settling his deal with management with a new contract extension, and really you've got to credit it to Rudy Tom John.
Well, the players all say he took a very tough approach here. He's forced them to play team defense and then also to make the extra pass. They're never going to be out of the game, like especially here in this building. They're going to rally. They're going to make a real run at the Clippers. You know, but people forget, this team is a proud franchise. They have been in the playoffs 12 of the last 15 years, 8 of the last 9 years.
Last year is the only year they missed. They went from the lottery to the Midwest Division champions. Houston on a 12-2 run. They trail by 7, minute 56 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Brooks' pressure on Mark Jackson, very, very tough, but Mark can handle it and get the ball where it has to be.
Harper now has gone cold in his shooting. Good penetration move, but didn't get it to drop.
Go to the big fella. Oh, you go to the big fella, you know you're going to get something good. There it is.
Bullard on the drive and the pull-up 18-footer. Big rebound by Bullard. New shot clock. Houston with new life here. Two-man game.
Good statement, Bob. You could feel it.
Oh! Roberts hits that post hard, knocked the stanchion protector right off the post.
I always tell guys, never throw the ball back in underneath your defensive basket. The only thing that's going to come out of that is bad news.
Loose ball foul on Garland, and that is 4. Jack Madden overruled the original call, which was Houston to get the ball out of bounds, and then called the foul on Winston Garland. Roberts will go to the line. Stanley Roberts shoots only 49% from the free throw strike. Minute 12 to go, 3rd quarter. 66-59. Stanley is 2 out of 3 from the line tonight.
If this young man will just spend the summer working on his foul shooting, because he gets fouled so much,
He's a 52% shooter. He's got a beautiful game with his back to the basket. He's got to get to the point that he's familiar when he goes to that foul line, and everyone feels the confidence that he's going to knock them in.
You know, you and I were talking about free throw shooting form. His form looks pretty good here to me. Give us a little critique as we get this hit on shot.
Yeah, well, the key thing is you want that elbow in close to the basket, and you want him to be a two-eyed shooter. But sometimes you can see that ball came up right above his nose, so he's a one-eye shooter.
Excellent point. You missed that one. 67-59 Clippers, minute 10 to go in the third. That's 4 fouls on Roberts. And Bullard goes to the free throw line.
Well, Larry must take him out right now. He's making the substitution. You only have a minute and 10 to go. You'd like to save him to come back with about 8 minutes to go, because, you know, he leads the league in fouls, and we said he has fouled out of 15 games.
Trying to get Loy Vaught in. Here comes Vaught as Roberts goes to the bench. Stanley Roberts tonight has 17 points, carrying 4 personal fouls now, as Bullard, who's a 78% free throw shooter, gets them both. It's a 6-point Clippers lead. It was a 5-point Clippers lead at the half.
Now, Bullard, an excellent pickup by these people. He was not drafted. He's been here 3 years, and he's made a solid contribution.
John Williams to Harper.
The offense is so far out now because of the excellent job that they're doing. Now, I like
Brooks
this.
Called for the foul.
Yeah, sure. Mark Jackson posted. Brooks stayed behind, but he slipped. And when he slipped, he pushed him. Watch him, see, right down in there. He's trying to, he can't handle Jackson down inside.
Mark Jackson has had a grimace on his face since Brooks has been on him. It's just not fun for Mark Jackson.
Mark has had a wonderful season. He's had a number of triple-doubles this year. We told you he's played over 40 minutes a game, over 20-some-odd times. He's come in with excellent numbers back to the days when he was Rookie of the Year in the All-Star game. Shoots 49%, gives you 81 from the foul line, and then his choices tonight have been outstanding on the break.
69-61 Clippers, under a minute to go in the third quarter. Clippers built a 17-point lead. Rockets have cut into it as Sleepy Floyd's on the floor. This is Bullard to Thorpe. Nice fake. Sleepy Floyd on the penetration.
Beautiful head fake and ball fake by Sleepy. The defense move opened up that lane. See, the offense is so far out right now. Now they're going to open up the floor and allow John Williams to go in the middle, one-on-one. But watch for the pass.
Well, he's not going to go one-on-one on Olajuwon. He dishes it off to Harper, who drains it too. He stepped on the line. Well, he might go one-on-one with Olajuwon, but not successfully.
Well, he usually just pulls up and passes out, just like he did there.
Bullard for 3.
Yes, count it! Your designated 3 off the bench.
At the end of 3 quarters, the Clippers, who had a 17-point lead, now lead it by 6. And this crowd at the Houston Summit is back into this game. Houston on a 19-8 run to conclude the third quarter. It's in what's proving to be an interesting ball game. We should take a look at the scoring by quarters.
And you can see that the Rockets really have struggled in periods 1 and 2. They've made a little surge here in period 3 off the defense, holding the Clippers to 1 shot. Now, the first 5 minutes in this quarter is major. But they have Manning in here right now, and this guy has got to step up and give them a big fourth quarter.
Jaren Jackson in the ballgame for the first time for the Clippers. Manning rattles it home.
That's the way to start it out. Give him the confidence, and most important, the rest of the guys.
Sleepy Floyd, Scott Brooks are the guards for Houston. Olajuwon working on Vaught, kicks it out to Bullard.
That's a tough matchup for Vaught.
Floyd has it stripped. This is Jaren Jackson.
Get it out.
He nearly traveled.
Nice, right there.
Manning open for the jumper. Definitely looks out of sync tonight. 74-66, Clippers by 8. Manning only 2 for 7 from the floor. 11 minutes to go in this game.
You've got to recognize Olajuwon now because of the size.
Bullard shoots an air ball this time. It'll belong to the Clippers with their 8-point lead.
Oh, Jack Madden is calling that he got a piece of it.
Thus, the ball will belong to the Houston Rockets. Several calls have been overruled here tonight. We have a veteran officiating crew at Ed T. Rush and Jack Madden and Lee Jones. They're all used to being lead officials.
Absolutely. And when you look down inside here right now, Hakeem really has a mismatch.
Bullard's turnaround from 19. He's got a tremendous jump shot out of Iowa.
How about the confidence factor? That was a difficult shot.
74-68 Clippers, 10:39 to go in the ball game.
Big key for this quarter now. No turnovers for the Clippers and make your foul shot.
Norman on the drive, he's fouled.
Strong move.
That'll be a 2-shot foul.
There have been a number of guys flopping here tonight. And, you know, it's interesting. I have not really seen enough of this year. You know, it's almost like it's obsolete almost. Because you never get the call. Not with veteran guys.
Exactly.
They'll never give it to you.
They just disregard it. Well, that's 3 fouls on Scott Brooks as Norman goes to the line. 60% free throw shooter. 10:26 to go in this game from Houston.
Kenny Norman is the leading rebounder for this team. He's a small forward. He's averaging 7.5 rebounds, which is excellent for a small forward. But unfortunately for the Clippers, they do not have anyone else. For as athletic a team as this is, they have a negative in rebounding.
Norman has 10 rebounds tonight. Gary Grant back in for Jaren Jackson. It's Grant and Mark Jackson at the guards now for the LA Clippers, trying to protect an 8-point lead. Olajuwon down on the block, draws the triple team. Bullard on the drive past Manning. Manning with the block and the foul, and that'll be 5
from the rear.
His 5th personal foul.
Larry Brown was telling us about the quick fouls he got in the game on game 1.
See, he gets by him, and then he goes for the shot block from the rear. That's so difficult to do because Bullard does not score well when he's dribbling the basketball.
Bullard has had a productive game off the bench tonight, 11 points.
The little things. The playoffs are little things. You have to understand every little idiosyncrasy of the offensive moves of the guy that you're going to be playing. Where are his percentages? And then whether or not if he dribbles, can he shoot off the dribble and score?
Bullard has the last 7 Rocket points. 6-point Clippers lead.
Sleepy Floyd's been doing a nice job on the ball here.
Gary Grant, nice crossover dribble. Williams back out to Mark Jackson on the penetration. Olajuwon couldn't get his hands on the ball, and that's an excellent move by Mark Jackson inside.
For a guy who does not elevate very high, he gets very few shots blocked once he breaks that foul line. Very uncanny.
There's that same play. They reverse it to Bullard. Norman runs at him. Now they're back down to Floyd on the baseline. Jackson, one-handed rebound. Clippers maintain the 8-point lead. Loose ball foul.
Everyone said, why Brooks? Why do we want him on this team? Rudy Tomjanovich says, because I want an unselfish guy who can make the perimeter shots and put pressure on your point guard and then get us out on the break.
Hey, Norman really doing a great job against Thorpe. Remember, Thorpe's been on the bench a long time with 4 personal fouls, and Robertson Olajuwon playing a very even ball game tonight.
Well, we don't have Olajuwon shot blocking in there or rebounding, and you have to give Hakeem a lot of credit. He's been taking the double and triple teams, sometimes 3 guys on him, passing out and not forcing anything, and allowing the game to drift to everyone else.
Before we went away, the foul that was called was on John Williams. He has 5. Several players in this game in foul jeopardy.
Good ball movement.
There's that double team on Olajuwon. 5 to shoot. Pull-up jumper from Bullard. As you say, doesn't shoot that well off the dribble. 8-point Clippers lead. Jackson behind the back to John Williams.
Isn't that beautiful? He accepted the double team, took it down below the dotted line, and goes behind his back. Perfect pass.
Floyd on the drive, kicked out by Thorpe. Olajuwon is fouled.
And I'll tell you, that was a very heady play by Mark Jackson. Just went over, tapped Olajuwon. Olajuwon, being a veteran of many playoffs, understands the hard foul rule. No gimmies in this game tonight. Now just watch how he accepts this double team and then the presence of mind to put it back.
Big league point guard play. Olajuwon goes to the free throw line. That was the foul on Mark Jackson, his first in this game. It's a 10-point Clippers lead with 8:30 remaining. A lot of these first round series have been tied at 1. Clippers hoping to do likewise here tonight. Here's the foul trouble I was talking about. Manning and Williams both with 5 for the Clippers. Herrera, Garland, and Thorpe all have 4 for the Houston Rockets. That's one of the reasons Thorpe's playing time has been so limited. Danny Manning with only 6 points tonight. Olajuwon this half only 1 field goal and 6 points.
See, they're using Williams out at the top to bring Olajuwon out. He's the catalyst once Mark Jackson gives up the ball.
Turnaround jumper by Lloyd Vaught over Thorpe.
He can make that shot. You've got to get up and contest him. Hey, for minutes played, he does an excellent job in points and rebounds.
Again, Bullard open for the 3. Olajuwon up high, but Mark Jackson ripped it away.
They have a 4-on-3 here.
Oh, it looked like Harper was fouled. Bullard got away with 1, but the Clippers maintained possession.
Well, the old story, no foul that close to the hole.
Clippers by 10. Looking for Thorpe. Posted down low against Lloyd Vaught.
Yeah, see, Lloyd's got to move around. You just can't give him a clear pass.
Lloyd Vaught comes out and fouls him. They couldn't get the ball. Floyd had to come all the way out here near half court to get that pass into Thorpe, who was about 18 feet from the hoop.
See, if the guy is all over the passer, like you're seeing here, you confront the man. You don't push him from the rear. And the big key here is now the next foul, the Rockets are shooting a penalty. That is a major plus in this next 7 minutes.
Yeah, Houston's committed only 1 team foul in this quarter. Floyd on the penetration. The kick out to Winston Garland.
Sleepy Floyd has played a strong game in his minutes this evening. Playing good defense, and he's also going off the dribble and making the pass.
The situation in this game right here with 7 minutes to go points to a possible Houston comeback. That'll be goaltending by Olajuwon.
How about the teardrop that time? See, Mark knew that he can post, and that was a beautiful pass, recognition, and then the quick teardrop. Watch this. Look how high up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that was a test for Olajuwon.
10-point Clippers lead.
You know he almost got it.
Yes. Anyway.
That's right.
The lob inside to Hakeem, stripped away. They're saying it was hit by...
Well, Olajuwon wanted a 2-shot foul.
Right.
He thought, you see, they fronted, Roberts fronted, they threw the lob pass. The weak side guy coming is smaller than Olajuwon, and he went for the ball.
And 6:43 to go in this ball game. Coming up tomorrow night as we continue playoff coverage on TNT, the Jazz and the Sonics. 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Game 2 in that series. Manning on the bench with 5 fouls and only 6 points in this game. Nevertheless, his Clippers lead it by 10. Clippers have done a great job defending Hakeem Olajuwon. That'll be a 2-shot foul. It's on Ron Harper.
That play right there is one of the very few times this evening that Hakeem has been able to split the double team. Now just watch. See, he gets through before the double team arrives. Now, they have been quick all night. If they're going to win this, they've got to keep it up for another 6.5 minutes.
The Clippers are in the penalty. Only 1 team foul has been committed by the Rockets. The situation set here for a Rockets comeback. Hakeem 13 of 14 from the free throw line tonight. Clippers by 8. Remember, the Clippers playing without Vernon Maxwell and without their rookie Robert Horry. Horry was really having a problem with that knee tonight and went out and had to be iced in the first half. And Maxwell is going to have his cast removed and his hand examined on Monday. He's hoping to possibly come back in a week.
That's right.
That would be truly amazing.
Yes, it would. And they need him because of his defense and his scoring ability. Sleepy's done a nice job on Mark here.
Shot clock down to 10. Houston has lived on defense all year long. Harper has it stripped away. There's the defense. 8-point Clippers lead. 6 minutes remaining in this game. Now they got Hakeem posted on the other side. Punched away by Roberts. Crowd wanted a travel call. Mark Jackson, defensed by Floyd.
Hey, Harper wants it back again down inside.
There's the double team on Thorpe.
Now
8 seconds.
There it is. Nice fake.
Grant short arms it. Olajuwon with his 11th rebound in this game.
You always say, when you get those 15, 18-foot jumpers, you got to shoot them with authority.
Hakeem kicks it to Brooks for 3. Olajuwon with his 12th rebound. Missed the lay-in. Rebound this time by Loy Vaught.
Oh, 3-on-1.
And the lob to Ron Harper from Gary Grant. Well, every time the Rockets start a move, the Clippers come back and answer with something spectacular. And now it's a 10-point game with 5 minutes remaining.
Bob, that was a great catch on that dunk.
This is a great catch and jam.
Make the defense, change sides. This is a terrific catch because as he made his break, he was coming from behind the backboard. Dangerous, dangerous pass.
Harper has 24 points in this game. 5 minutes remaining. Ron Harper, who injured his right surgical knee in game number 1, was questionable at noon today. And what a reversal it's been in terms of the shooting by the Rockets. 63% game 1, only 34% tonight. In game 1, 117 points. Tonight, so far, only 76 points.
See, Kenny Smith has been on the bench for quite a while. This came in, he's the open man, and he has to launch a 3. That's tough to do.
Jackson beating everybody on the dribble. Out to Grant to Harper. Hit the hot man.
Larry Brown. Tonight, we must make the extra pass. We must run more set play offense and then hustle back on defense. He's gotten his wish in all 3 departments.
Stanley Roberts from behind. If that's on Roberts, it'll be 5. You can bet that they'll be milking Hakeem Olajuwon now with him carrying his 5th foul.
Well, Mark Jackson's telling him, you don't need that because you're coming over his back.
And we're going to double and triple team anyway.
That's right. He's going to get that call every time. Because they need the big fella now. Because Olajuwon, as we keep getting down to nutcracking time, Olajuwon will be double teaming. If this game becomes close, say less than 6 points, he'll be double teaming everything down the lane.
Team to those stats, 4 blocks tonight also to go with 12 rebounds. He has made a living at the free throw line tonight. If he hits this one, we'll cut that lead to 10 points with a lot of time. 4:21 remaining. Houston, however, no 20s and only 2 timeouts remaining. They do have 2 fouls to give.
The most impressive thing about Hakeem's game tonight is he's allowed the offense to come to him. No forced shots.
Looking for Roberts. Good defense by Kenny Smith. Intercepted by Olajuwon.
Angle. You never feed the post from way out the top of the circle.
Down to Olajuwon. Turn around. That foul is going to be on Stanley Roberts.
Now, this is a big loss right now. You say, well, he's having a tough time with Olajuwon. But what I'm talking about is 7 foot, 290 pounds. He takes up a lot of space. And when he puts his body on Olajuwon, he helps wear the guy down. Now when they take him out, They go smaller in size. They don't lose any weight by bringing in Williams, all right, but they lose the offensive punch.
That's a good call. He got him right on the wrist on the foul. No question about it. Roberts, 17.6 rebounds with 7 of 9 from the floor tonight. Played Olajuwon tough, but he fouled out of the game, and now John Williams has to come in to play Olajuwon. That's going to be a really difficult situation. Olajuwon hit the first of the free throws and rattles home the second one. And it is now an 8-point Clippers lead with 3:54 to go. And Hakeem is 17 of 18 from the line.
See, what happened there is you just lost your low post threat. So now you become totally a slashing team off the dribble and reading.
8 to shoot. Jackson backing in. Now 5. Grant the open man. He drains it. It may be the Clippers' night.
Oh, that was nice. See, once again, Mark Jackson reads the double team, and they make the second pass out.
They have really maintained their poise under some tremendous defensive pressure from Houston here in this fourth quarter and held on to their 10-point lead. Led by 17 at one point in the game. Olajuwon inside with the basket, got the foul on the baseline.
See, the toughest thing for a defensive player in a situation like that is not to knee him. Now just watch as he bumps him. See, he bumps him right there. See, he's behind the backboard. You try to tell guys, let him go behind the backboard. Drop that knee that you're hitting him with. Seal him off, because now that is your 6th foul.
And now he's out. So John Williams replaced Stanley Roberts, who fouled out. Loy Vaught is in the game now. Danny Manning, excuse me, let's double check the lineup here. It's Ken Norman, Danny Manning, Ron Harper, and Gary Grant, and Mark Jackson on the floor
Harper
for the Los Angeles Clippers.
But at the offensive end of the floor, that's okay. You have all slashers. But at the defensive end of the floor, someone must guard Olajuwon, and will be giving away a lot of size. We still have over 3 minutes to play here.
Clippers get a timeout with a 9-point lead. 3 minutes, 17 seconds remaining. Houston has 2 timeouts, no 20s remaining. To none in this first-round matchup in the Western Conference between the number 2 and number 7 seeds. Have a 9-point lead, hoping to even the series tonight. 3:17 remaining. Houston's last 7 points have been scored by Hakeem Olajuwon at the free throw line. Clippers have had a 17-point lead, and I might point out that the Clippers have also lost their last 14 times here in the Summit. Steal by Herrera off of Danny Manning. Manning blocked the entry pass.
Now remember, this team is never out of it because of their ability to shoot the 3 at such a high percentage.
10 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. Winston Garland, tough baseline jumper, doesn't go. Danny Manning's rebound. Clippers by 9.
3 on 2.
Harper draws the foul. Beautiful body control, and he'll go to the free throw line. Harper with 28 points in this game.
He has finished this evening with just some magical moves. Now this is really there. He turned his entire body to make sure that the defender had to come over the top of him and make the contact. Give him a lot of credit tonight. We're talking about a guy at noontime today. We were really concerned about the guy's career. Never mind playing this evening, right?
5 personals on Carl Herrera. And Ron Harper tonight has 29 points to go with 6 rebounds. 12-point Clippers lead. Olajuwon spins inside. No post defense available for the Clippers now, with both Williams and Stanley Roberts having fouled out of the game.
The big thing is the strength factor now. They have no one who can body him without just grabbing him. The thing is, you take care of the shot clock, you run your clock, and you get yourself high percentage shots. Right now, the Rockets still have 1 foul to give.
Jackson all the way to the hole, missed the layup.
2 minutes.
2 minutes remaining in this ball game. It'll be Clippers ball, and they have the 10-point lead. There may not be enough time for Houston.
Mark Jackson got popped. You can see him right now. He's struggling. The thing now is you got 1:55 to go. You run your clock. See, that was 1 to give. Now that came from the bench to foul so that they can not run off 20 seconds. because when they foul now, they want to stop the clock, and then they want to force the Clippers to go to the foul line and make the foul shots.
With this timeout and a minute 55 remaining, it's a 10-point bulge by the Clippers. Let's go to Ernie Johnson Jr. in Atlanta.
Thank you, Bob. And he'll be back here with Don Nelson. And I guess the story of this game is the guy who was questionable. Can he go tonight? Ron Harper answering definitively tonight.
Oh, what a gutsy performance. I mean, this guy, after I saw that injury, I said, no way can he play tomorrow, which is this game. And he's probably out for the series. But he came back and, you know, what did he have, 27 points?
He's been spectacular tonight. Elsewhere in the Western Conference playoffs, San Antonio and Portland played today with the Blazers absolutely having to salvage a game on their home court. And they did it, though the Spurs again played them tough. David Robinson winds up in Elliott's hands. And now Cliff Robinson really struggling offensively, but helping out elsewhere.
For the first time, he stopped trying to score because he's just having a terrible time of it, and he did other things. He blocked shots, he rebounded, he played defense.
He's only 3 out of 27 from the field in the series, but he did have 6 blocks today, and Clyde Drexler was back and scored 21. And Portland won a game it had to have. 105-96 over the Spurs. That one's tied up at a game apiece. This series here in Houston might be too. Let's go back.
Thanks, Ernie and Don. So Ron Harper gets the Clyde Drexler comeback award in this game tonight with his 29 points. 10-point Clipper lead, minute 55 to go.
Larry Brown made a great statement about Harper today. He said, if it's at all possible, he'll play. He plays with pain. He is a very, very fierce competitor and a tough guy. And he said if he can do it at all, he'll be in this game.
It's also important to point out that, remember, Vernon Maxwell is injured and out for the Rockets, and also their outstanding rookie, Robert Horry, has not played in the second half. His patella tendonitis has swollen in his right knee.
Now they're going to the double teams.
Harper misses the jam. Manning.
Smart basketball. Nice pass by Manning. Get the rebound, kick it out, run some clock, and try to avoid them from fouling you and stopping the clock.
Grant kicking it back out, down to 10 on the shot clock. Harper passes to Mark Jackson. Jackson all the way out to Grant, who takes the shot. No. Rebound, Ken Norman. They'll get a new 24. That'll about do it. 10-point lead. Oop. Casual pass picked off by Houston. Houston's going to need some threes and some quick scoring here. Well, Olajuwon rips the rebound away from Harper.
Great defense by Harper. Why not? It should be Harper.
This has been Clipper game. I'll tell you what, they have played with incredible intensity and intelligence and unselfishness all game after doing just the opposite in game 1.
Well, we said it at the top of the show. They're a Jekyll and Hyde team. You never have any idea when they're going to show up to play, but when they do, they can play with any team in this league.
41 seconds remaining. 10-point bulge. Clippers are going to get this with Kenny Smith missing. It's been that way all night. The perimeter shooting for Houston has definitely abandoned them in this game tonight. And that's what they hit so well, particularly threes, in game number 1. Only 10 of 46 perimeter shots have fallen for the Houston Rockets in this game tonight.
Amazing stat. Give them their due, just like New Jersey. And also, what is it with the second game out west? Okay?
Okay.
The visiting teams stealing games.
This big win for the Los Angeles Clippers. Most people thought they'd be just 3 and out here with the Houston Rockets. Again, not to make excuses, but the Rockets playing without 2 of their starters, Vernon Maxwell and Robert Horry. The Clippers get the win tonight, 95-83, to even this series at 1 game apiece. Ron Harper came off the potential injured list, and the great defense by the Clippers holds Houston to, get this, 32% field goal percentage. They had shot 63% in game number 1.
Just very impressive, and you loved it because Larry Brown at practice today was extremely confident. He felt that there were an awful lot of good things that came out of game 1, and like he said, you're only down 1-0, and all you have to do is come in and stick to your game plan.
And Mark Jackson had himself an outstanding game in this ball game tonight. We've seen it before. Mark Jackson, we talked to Larry
Brown today about noontime, and he said, I looked down the bench in game number 1, and I said to one of my assistant coaches, these guys know at the playoff the intensity level isn't there. I hope I'm going to get that tonight and get some selfish second and third passes. Why did your team respond the way it did to come in for this win tonight?
Well, first of all, they're 150% right that we didn't come out in game 1 with the playoff type attitude. We came out tonight on a mission. A lot of the media was talking about how we don't have a chance. We watch NBC today. They killed us, and rightfully so. We didn't play the type of basketball that we're capable of playing. We got a little bit upset. Tonight we came ready to play, and like we said all season long, if we play the way we're capable of playing, we're a very dangerous basketball team.
Mark, the inside play this evening, you guys attacked on the fast break. You completed the majority of the breaks.
Well, that's something that we worked on in practice yesterday. I think Hakeem dominated us in game 1. He controlled the paint. He controlled both ends of the basketball court. Tonight, Stanley Roberts did a heck of a job. Our big guys came ready to play, and that's where the intensity started, and it was just a great win.
How important was it to the team emotionally that Ron Harper, who you didn't know if he's going to come back or not, came back, and not only came back, but played so well?
Well, we was teasing him a lot, talking about he should be our Willis Reed. Come on out here limping and give us just a great deal of fire and emotion. He just played phenomenal tonight. Finished the plays like his knee never got hurt. He just did a great job. This is just a terrific win for this whole organization.
For you personally tonight, Hubie Brown was really excited about he loves to say, there's the teardrop shot.
Well, that's something from the playgrounds in New York City, something that I worked on all my life. I'm just ecstatic right now. I tried to just control the tempo, tried to get good shots every time down the floor, and it was just a great win.
Now, Mark, I've seen you guys quite a few times this year, and I have never seen the defensive effort that you got on the traps. That's the best I've seen you trap. What was the key there?
Well, you know traps as well as anybody. We just did a great job of changing defenses, giving them different looks. We tried a little bit of 1-3-1. We went 1-2-2. We played man-to-man, run and jump. We just gave them a little bit of everything and mixed it up, and it looked like their guards got a little bit frustrated where they didn't know what we was doing. They gave the ball up early, and that was successful because that's just what we wanted them to do.
You know, Mark, you look at Danny Manning, struggled all night long. Early foul trouble, couldn't get a field goal till late in the ball game, and yet your team comes back and gets the victory. I know you don't want that to happen with Danny Manning, but it's got to be important to see that you got the depth to overcome that.
Well, certainly. That's what great players are all about and great teams are all about. You make up for that. Our great player just wasn't having a great half, but he got on the offensive and defensive boards. Yes. He played solid defense. He made things happen. It showed a tribute to Danny Manning. He didn't have to score. He did the little things, and that's what teams win with.
Congratulations on an excellent win here tonight. Even the series at 1 apiece, and now back to Los Angeles.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Mark Jackson, who had just an outstanding game tonight, leading these Los Angeles Clippers. First win in the Summit in your last 15 appearances, going back before Mark Jackson even joined this team in the trade from New York. And so tonight, the Clippers beat the Houston Rockets 95-83. Remember, Houston scored 117 points in game number 1. In the fourth quarter, Houston only 3 of 17 from the field. That's 18%. Let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Bob. Our crack research staff has come up with these numbers. Let me spit this out. The 91-92 playoffs in the first round, the higher-seeded team lost on its home court just 4 times. And now through 3 days, Nellie, we've seen 5 teams lose on the home court: Houston, Phoenix, Portland, Boston, and Cleveland. An unpredictable playoff thing we got going on here.
No question. It shows a parity in the league, which is beautiful.
So what are your impressions from 3 days here? Anything change as far as you're thinking on who's going to advance?
No, not really. I still, I'll stay with all the predictions that I had, and I like them. But I think the excitement is going to be 100% from here on out.
Including your Clipper pick over the Houston Rockets, and the series now tied up at a game apiece. Let's take a look at the rest of the scores from this Saturday in the NBA. 105-96, Portland, a winner over San Antonio. That's tied up at a game apiece. This series is also tied up at a game apiece. Charlotte in double OT beating Boston 99-98. And guess what? This one's also tied up at a game apiece. New Jersey 101-99 over the Cavs tonight. All the highlights come your way next on Inside the NBA. Vince Cellini, your host. The Stinger, Mike Glenn, will be along with his insights, and they'll preview Game 2 of the Lakers-Suns. The Lakers pulling the stunner in Game 1 of that series. Now, our finishing touch tonight, before we get to it, need a little setup. Your guys at Golden State provided us with one of the highlights of the year because you have this promotion where if you score 120 points and you win the game, everybody who's got a ticket gets pizza.
Right.
Okay, so back in January, here you are playing the Miami Heat. It's a 119 to 103 game. Time running out. You're 1 point away from getting pizza for everybody. Clock winding down. And what does Tim Hardaway do, folks? Look at the clock. Hardly any time left. He's going to foul. 0.5 to go. You still got a shot at pizza. Now hold it. Hold the video right there. I get to do this telestrator thing. There you go. Now what the heck are you thinking? What are you thinking there, Nelly?
Well, I'm thinking let's not embarrass this other coach. Let's get this game over with. Let's not worry about the pizza pie. But Timmy had other ideas.
He certainly did. We roll this tape and give it a listen, folks. You'll see what happened.
That endears him to the fans, though, doesn't it?
But not to Nelly. Nelly doesn't like that.
No, it's not. But I'll tell you what, he's made about 15,000 friends in the stands.
Oh, you want a long one?
Here we go. Hardaway, and it is unbelievable! Oh, they're wiping it out. I can't believe Ted Bernhardt is wiping it out. An unbelievable shot from behind the midcourt line. It would have given the fans their food. And listen to this crowd taking food from the fans.
Taking food from the fans. What a disgrace. The officials said no basket. The pizza people said, yeah, we're going to count it anyway, so everybody got their pizza.
Actually, it was a good basket.
Yeah, we
it
think so
counted.
too. We think so too.
Yeah.
Did you get your pizza?
Absolutely.
Atta baby. You got an entertaining bunch, man. I can't wait to see them all healthy again next year in Golden State. And thanks for the 3 days here. It's been our pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
We'll send you back to the Summit for the Bud Player of the Game right after this.
13-0 runs at the end of the second period and the beginning of the third that put the Los Angeles Clippers in front for good. They get the win by 12, 95-83. The series tied at 1. Our Budweiser player of the game, Ron Harper. He injured his knee in game number 1, came back here and got 29.6 rebounds, 19 in the second half, and he's certainly key to courageous performance here tonight as the Clippers win for the first time in 15 games at the Summit. Be sure to stay with TNT as NBA action continues tomorrow at 9 o'clock with the Utah Jazz take on the Seattle Supersonics in Game 2 of that Western Conference first round series. Up next, Inside the NBA with Vince Cellini and Mike Glenn. For Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal saying good night from the Summit in Houston, Texas.